You're alone in your room. The fan hums like a steady engine, distant traffic breathes through windows, and the muffled hum of a show drifts from another space. In that ordinary blur, a sound cuts through your name. It lands in your awareness, so clearly you look up, half expecting someone to answer. But nobody did. Nobody spoke. That small, startling moment often feels eerie, like a glitch in reality. Mostly, it isn't supernatural or a sign of collapse. It's a window into how your brain listens, remembers, and guesses. Think of your name as a VIP word in the theater of your senses. From the first time it was spoken to you, it's stitched into identity, emotion, and attention. Over decades, your name has been repeated in approval, warning, affection, and command. It accumulates meaning. Psychologists call this bias the cocktail party effect. In a crowded room of competing conversations, a single call of your name will pull your focus. Your brain doesn't passively record sound, it filters and flags. It keeps a VIP list, and your name is right at the top. Experiments show that even when you're not listening for anything specific, your name will capture attention faster than other words. That explains part of the mystery. Your brain is primed to notice you. Now add noise. The world is full of layered sounds, fans and air conditioners, rain on a window, cars and passing feet, birds singing, televisions and distant conversations. This acoustic clutter floods your ears with overlapping frequencies and rhythms. Your brain must decode it, and it does so by hunting for patterns. We are pattern machines. The same tendency that lets you see a face in drifting clouds can make you hear a voice in the hiss of a fan. This is called auditory pareidolia, when indistinct or random acoustic input is reshaped into familiar forms, a melody, a word, or a phrase. White noise machines, shower spray, or wind in trees can seem to speak when your mind leans in long enough. Often, the brain constructs a best guess, filling gaps with the most probable or meaningful interpretation. So when a cluster of sound roughly matches the cadence or timbre of your name, your perception snaps to that conclusion for an instant. It's less a hallucination and more an honest misreading, a sensible but not infallible shortcut applied to noisy data. Expectation and memory deepen the effect. In situations where you expect your name, waiting at an airport gate, in a doctor's office, or anticipating a call, your attention system goes on alert. That mental standby mode lowers the threshold for noticing name-shaped sounds. If you've recently experienced hearing your name in silence, your brain logs that event and becomes hyper-aware, a phenomenon akin to the frequency illusion. Once something feels important, your brain suddenly spots it everywhere. Each repeat confirms the pattern, and the experience takes on an air of inevitability. The more you notice it, the more you notice it, a gentle loop that turns ordinary noise into recurring little mysteries. There's another everyday context where your name seems to appear from nowhere, the liminal space between wakefulness and sleep. As you drift off or stir awake, the brain moves between waking perception and dreamlike processes. Sensory boundaries blur. You might glimpse shapes, feel a presence, or hear a voice call your name. These hypnagogic or hypnopompic experiences arise because dreaming activity can leak into conscious awareness. Hearing your name in that half-asleep state is startling, but typically benign, a short-lived blending of internal imagery and external sensation that dissolves upon full waking. But it's important to recognize when the experience crosses into something more serious. What I've described so far are transient misperceptions rooted in attention, memory, and noise. There is a separate category, true auditory hallucinations. In certain neurological or psychiatric conditions, people hear voices that are persistent, intrusive, and complex, voices that converse, criticize, or command. These experiences often come with distress, shifts in mood, paranoia, or functional decline. If someone hears voices frequently, feels threatened or controlled by them, or notices life being affected, that is a clear sign to seek professional evaluation. Occasional "did someone say my name" moments are common and usually harmless. Ongoing, distressing voices warrant care. So why does your name sometimes feel like it was whispered from nowhere? Because your brain is doing its job, prioritizing personally meaningful signals, finding patterns in disorder, primed by expectation, and sometimes drifting between sleep and wake. A dash of auditory pareidolia plus a privileged word plus a vigilant mind equals a moment that feels uncanny. It's a strange and fascinating quirk, not evidence of ghosts and not usually a sign of serious illness. If those moments are rare, treat them as curiosity, a peek at your brain's cleverness. If they become frequent, frightening, or disruptive, reach out. Getting help is not a sign of failure, it's a way to understand the full picture and find reassurance or treatment. Our brains are wonderfully sensitive instruments. Sometimes they make creative guesses about the world, and sometimes those guesses sound like your name.